9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
She packed my bags last night, pre-flight.
The 1960s, as we all know, was a period of much controversy within the USA. Often overlooked at this time were the debates over the risk and reward of funding space exploration. The Soviet Union and the U.S. were in a space race to see which nation could send a human to outer space first. Each nation was pouring countless dollars into technology and spacecraft in an attempt to be the first in outer space. In 1957, the Soviet Union launched the first satellite, Sputnik, into space. A few years after Sputnik, Russian cosmonaut Yuri Gagarin became the first human in space aboard a Russian spacecraft. The Americans could not face the reality that the Soviets were more advanced in any aspect of life, so in 1969, the USA became the first to have a human walk on the moon. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin became the first men on the moon, and from this point on, some Americans believed space exploration was beneficial, while others thought it was simply a waste of money and time. This presents us with the past and present controversy on whether to fund space programs such as NASA or not. When America put a man on the moon, it gave us confidence that there was much science in outer space that could advance and better life on Earth. But what exactly does spending millions of dollars flying astronauts to the moon and back do for America other than put us farther in debt? Well, NASA, which was established in 1958 as a government-funded institution, can answer that question. Each year, NASA spends billions of dollars in research, construction, and insertion of materials to study space. Some notable inventions by NASA we use each day are water filters, scratch-resistant eyeglasses, and for diabetics, an insulin pump. When people think of paying for space programs, they immediately think they are just paying for space shuttles and satellite parts. Yet space programs are producing much more than this out of the billions they are being given. In 1992, NASA and the U.S. Department of Defense wanted to better their communication with spacecrafts. An invention known as a communication satellite was created, which relayed and amplified signals from the spacecraft to a position on Earth. Another very important invention made by NASA were navigation systems. As we know them now, GPSs were originally created for military usage only. Since then, the government has made them available for civilian usage. They allow a human to get to any place they want with directions and a location in mind. Another satellite-based invention are wireless systems. Originally designed for communications on lunar missions, wireless systems have taken Earth by storm. They are portable devices which can boost local reception for phones, laptops, and Wi-Fi internet receivers without any plug-ins or outlets. The technology has the ability to control how much or how little they boost signals. Satellites created by space programs affect us every day tremendously, more than we would even know. NASA doesn't just produce and utilize satellites for cell phones, Wi-Fi, and GPS. The funded space program created weather satellites. It feels like second nature today to check tomorrow's weather on your computer or even a mobile phone, but none of this would be possible without weather satellites. The world's first weather satellite, TIROS-1, was launched 50 years ago on April 1, 1960. By capturing this high ground, weather satellites changed a key way that humans view the future, making it possible to foresee potential disasters before they arrive and prepare for them. Weather satellites warn of approaching hurricanes, tornadoes, and severe snowstorms and other various forms of devastating weather. They allow people to move to a safe area or brace themselves for what is about to hit them. Weather satellites not only show us our 7-day forecast every single week, but they allow meteorologists to read and interpret patterns in weather conditions to better our chances of being safe from destructive weather forces. If you still disagree with funding space programs, listen to a few of the government-funded programs and the impact they have in your life. National defense, education, and healthcare. Some pretty important programs, right? Well, space programs were funded less than all these. National defense on land, sea, and air is funded with 25% of taxpayers' money. What about defense in outer space and tracking terrorist movements and protecting our Earth from the most threatening opponent, asteroids? Asteroids can enter our atmosphere and cross into Earth, killing millions to even billions, and there are infinite asteroids flying around in outer space. And healthcare, all the taxes that goes towards producing medicines and studying illnesses, why shouldn't space programs be funded in their efforts to keep the air clean and humans healthy? Because the stereotype for space programs from the 60s to now is a bunch of marshmallow men flying around on rocket ships. A fun fact is NASA has made more money each year than they have been given from the government. NASA is not a program wasting our dollars. The United States must remain funding space programs because NASA has only scraped the surface of possible innovations in technology they could create. And if you still disagree with funding, listen to this. Governments funded Swedish massages for rabbits $387,000 over this last year. Developing a real-life Iron Man suit, $80 million was used towards this. And my personal favorite, studying the gambling habits of monkeys, $171,000. If the United States funded these actions, there's no doubt they should fund space exploration. So, space programs need to be funded in order to carry out their jobs of protecting the Earth from asteroids, displaying dangerous weather conditions, enhancing wireless connectivity, and also inventing advanced technologies. Funding for space programs began in the 1960s during the space race, and the funding must continue and also increase in order to continue to make our lives easier and better on planet Earth.
Four forward, drift into the right a little. 30 seconds forward, drift. Contact light. Okay, engine stop. Tranquility base here. The Eagle has landed. Roger, Tranquility. We copy you on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're going to be busy for a minute.
Armstrong is on the moon. Neil Armstrong, 38-year-old American, standing on the surface of the moon.